just ask this one.
Okay. Where does the bike rack story begin?
It started with a bike ride. Back in 2008, the Downtown Austin Alliance had a call for proposals for sculptural bike racks. To look for inspiration, I rode around town for a few hours, and on the hiking bike, I came across the elephant ear plants. Their streamlined form, at least to my eyes, seemed to have bike rack potential. So I rendered some illustrative images of how it would look and work and submitted them. And it turned out that that was one of the 3 proposals that was selected to be funded and actually built. The architect in me really liked how the idea of a sculptural bike rack combined both form and function. I was also really excited that since I had just taken up metalwork, I could likely propose the design and then actually build it. It's interesting for me to reflect back on how quickly that proposal was made and how long it actually took to see the project through to completion. I really had no idea in that moment of submitting that simple drawing that I was making a really big commitment of time and energy.
Do you think your work reflects reality or inverts reality?
I see how the bike rack has aspects of both. It reflects reality in the sense it's inspired by a real plant. However, it's not meant to be a literal elephant ear. I think a literal representation would be pretty hard to make physically, and I think a large part of the fun of this kind of project comes in how one remakes and reinterprets the form, still finding a way to evoke or capture the spirit of the original object in a new way. I think it also inverts reality, primarily through its use of enlarged scale. Elephant ears are typically 2 feet tall, and we are much taller than them. In the case of this piece of sculpture, the elephant ears are 10 feet tall, and we're quite a bit shorter than them and can stand under them.
What would you say about form follows function? How does the phrase form follows function fit into the work you create?
I would say function weighs heavily in the design. I really hope it works as a bike rack for people. But the initial move was picking a form that seemed relevant and then applying the function to it with some modifications. Also, along with this idea of form follows function comes the notion of feasibility. For this project and anything you design and then build, feasibility plays an important role during the design and detailing process because you're always aware of the tools you have access to, the skills and manpower you have on hand, and of course the budget and time. One of the reasons the bike rack is the way it is that because it was designed so that one person could put most all of the parts together without the help of anyone else. So, form follows function, and form follows feasibility.
Frequently, you talk about the role of intimacy in your work, and I'm wondering if you can expand on that.
After practicing architecture for many years, I started searching for a different kind of connection to the work I was doing, and I couldn't even articulate what that idea was going to be literally, but I was searching for something, and I stumbled upon welding, and suddenly I found I had this intimate relationship with this material and this process of making that I had never really experienced before, but it made the work I was doing feel grounded because I was engaged in all aspects of it. This is the material I've sort of committed to and that I work with a lot, so it's constantly teaching me things, and it also frustrates me quite a bit, as anything would that you have an intimate relationship with. But that intimate relationship can make the work better, or the outcome better, I think.
What role does public art play in our lives?
I think public art can play many roles, but my favorite aspect of public art is how it can create a unique point in space and time. Even if you don't like the piece of art that's there, it adds another layer of experience to the place. For instance, say you're downtown walking along the sidewalk and there's lots of these repetitive elements like street lamp, park bench, tree planting, paving pattern, and there's this sort of consistency which does bring order to the chaos of an urban space. It can be really refreshing when you have an unexpected twist to the usual streetscape or plaza. I think finding ways to create an augmented sense of place in our shared urban environments is a worthwhile cause, whether it's through public art, landscaping, architecture, or even events. Like, there's many ways to do it, but it sort of adds to our collective experience of this place, which is really valuable.